In today's world, texting plays a huge role in dating and courtship. But unfortunately, about 99% of guys absolutely suck at texting. And as a result, they fail to get the girl they want and usually end up friend-zoned or plain ignored by women. And I don't want that to happen to you. And if it has already happened to you before, I don't want it to ever happen again. So in this video, I'm going to reveal the 5 texting rules you must follow if you want to make a girl like you, want you, and chase you. So just sit back, relax, and watch till the end, and you'll get everything you need to become a texting god. I'm Marni, and from here on out, I'm gonna be your very own personal wing girl, and every single week, I'm gonna give you no BS insider information about what women want versus what they say they want. Plus, the most effective ways to win over any girl you like. So just hit the subscribe button now so you never miss a video. All right, let's get started. First of all, I want you to remember something. Even though you can make a girl like you over text, it still doesn't replace one-on-one face-to-face interactions. Face-to-face interactions is where the real connection is formed. The main purpose of texting is to make the girl like you enough so that she wants to see you in person. So don't ever forget that. With that said, let's discuss the 5 rules of texting girls. Okay, rule number 1. Open conversation the right way. So many guys ask me, Marni, how should I start texting this girl that I really, really like? And it's an important question because most guys start conversations in the worst way possible. If you go through an attractive girl's Instagram DMs, Tinder messages, or whatever, or something like that, you'll see that most guys start conversations with stuff like, hey, how are you? Or how was your weekend? Or wow, you're so cute. These are all nice things, but they're boring. And it makes me cringe just to mention these messages. These are just so generic and boring. They're awful text messages, which by the way, most girls have seen a million times. Hardly any attractive girl will ever respond to these types of messages unless they're super attracted to the guy. You've got to understand this one thing. Most beautiful women receive texts from tons of dudes who are interested in them, which means she has plenty of options to choose from on a daily basis. And given that fact, do you think she's going to choose to respond to a, hey, how are you, from somebody she's iffy about? No. The way to make a girl respond to your first message is to craft a text which contains some emotion and is different from the generic BS guys usually send to us. So let me give you 2 quick examples that I happen to really like. Let's say you're about to text this cute girl that you saw on Instagram. You could first go through her profile and make some observations about her pictures or something like that. Something that is true to her. And then you could say something like, hey, I noticed something fascinating in your pictures. This message is not like the stuff that us girls usually get. It might be after people watch this video and start using it, but for right now, it's not what we usually get. This text has mystery packed into it. It is bound to make her think, what did you see? What's this fascinating thing? Which in turn will make her reply. When she does reply back, you can crack a lighthearted joke like, well, you smile exactly like my future toxic girlfriend, which I think is kind of cute. In another scenario, let's say you match with a great girl on a dating app. You could open the conversation with something like, hey, this is your soon-to-be ex-husband. I want to discuss who gets to keep our dog after the divorce. Again, this is completely different from how guys usually start a conversation. It's a playful text which signals that you're a guy who would be fun to talk to, and it's very creative, which makes her 10 times more likely to reply. I hope that I'm getting this point across to you because I don't want you to open a conversation with generic stuff. I really want you to put some thought into it and be light and playful. Your job is to inject some emotion into that first message and make sure it's different from the stuff we girls usually get. Once you get a reply from her, it means you've piqued her interest and you've taken the first step towards making her like you, which is a good thing. Now you've got to build on that interest with rule number 2, maintain the right tone. This is perhaps the most important rule of texting and also the rule guys break most often. You see, texting is meant to be lighthearted and playful. It's not supposed to be super logical and super serious. Girls are bored when you make the conversation too logical or too serious, especially right away. When a guy asks us boring, generic questions or replies to our questions in a strictly logical manner, we're instantly turned off. That's the point when we start asking ourselves, is there even a point talking to this guy? And if he continues to maintain that tone of conversation, that's when we decide to friend zone him or ignore him completely. On the contrary, when a guy maintains a playful, lighthearted, and even flirty tone while texting us, it gets us engaged into the conversation. We love that type of text interactions. When a guy doesn't take things so seriously and he cracks jokes and teases us and he's playful and flirts with us, indulges in banter, that's when we really start to like him. It signals to us that he's a fun guy who'd be nice to be around. And it differentiates him from the 99% of men who make texting so serious and so dull. Now, remember when I talk about being playful, I'm not saying you've got to be like a super witty comedian or something like that, cracking jokes all the time. I'm just talking about keeping things lighthearted. For example, if a girl asks you, what do you do? What did you do over the weekend? Instead of telling her exactly what you did, you respond with something like, I was fighting crime in my red underwear and keeping this city safe for you. You're most welcome. Again, light and playful. That text isn't something super witty or humorous, but it sure is lighthearted and playful. And believe me, the girl is going to like it. In case you feel that playfulness as humor is not something that comes natural to you, don't worry. At the end of this video, I'm gonna give you an amazing resource that'll make you a master at having fun, playful conversations with girls, no matter how much you struggle with it currently. But for now, let's move on to rule number 3. Okay, rule number 3, show high standards. Needy and overly nice behavior is the easiest way to kill attraction. Yet most guys do just that. They shower girls with compliments, they make themselves available to us whenever we want, then try to agree with us on all the time. Basically, they do whatever it takes to please us so they can get into our pants. And that's where they go wrong all the time. You see, this type of behavior signals to us women that the man has no standards. He'll do anything to get a date. We don't like that. We're not attracted to that. We want a man who has high standards, a man who will make us work for his attention and approval, not just give it to us for free. We want a man who's a bit of a challenge for us to acquire, and that's what you should signal to a girl when you're texting her. You should show her you're a high quality man with high standards, and you should show her that you're not easily tamed by her attractiveness. There are many ways to do that. So for example, don't always agree with her. Say no to things you don't agree with, not in a rude way, but just disagree. Share your real opinions without hesitation. And trust me, girls are going to respect you for it. And don't always be so available to her. Being too available screams neediness and will guarantee that the girl is going to take you for granted. Prioritize your life over the girl because that's when you can genuinely seem non-needy. And finally, don't compliment her all the time. Only do it when there's something which really impressed you. Yes, we women love to hear compliments, but when a guy is too easily impressed by us, it shows low standards, which comes off as a turnoff immediately. It tells us that you'll love anything that we do. There's no challenge for us. We might think that you're nice for complimenting us, but we won't be seeing you as a potential romantic partner. I know you don't want that, do you? Show her you're a man with standards, and not only will she like you, but she's gonna respect you as well. Rule number 4, break patterns. When you're texting a girl, avoid being predictable. Predictable behavior repels us women because it's boring and dull. There's no sense of anticipation, no excitement, no surprise, no emotional highs and lows. We sound crazy, but it's what we need. And that's the experience that we like. When you're texting a girl, you should always strive to be unpredictable. In other words, you should break patterns and upset expectations. We love guys who are unpredictable because they always keep us guessing. Interacting with them is like riding a roller coaster. It's fun, it's exciting and thrilling, but how do you show unpredictability while texting? Well, there are many small and easy things that you can do. One of the easiest ones is the age-old tactic of varying your response time. This simply means when a girl texts you, sometimes you reply to her messages quickly, whereas in other times you take much longer to reply back. It's a very common tactic and it works really well. The only caveat with this tactic is to not use it like a tactic. If you're consciously tracking and varying your response time, just for the sake of being unpredictable, you'll drive yourself nuts at a certain point. The real trick is to prioritize your life over the girl. When you get busy in your own life, this varying your response time thing is just gonna happen naturally, and there's gonna be no effort required. Another way to be unpredictable would be changing the time of day you usually text her. Let's say you notice that you generally text each other during evenings or at night. In this case, you could break the pattern and shoot her a text in the morning sometime. Even if you don't have a full conversation during that time, the very act of going against the pattern is unpredictable and therefore can spark excitement and attraction. Another simple and clever way to be unpredictable would be using audio messages or voice notes instead of just plain text. 99.99% of men always use plain text when texting a girl. So when you throw in some audio messages or voice notes or videos, it breaks the pattern. It upsets expectations, and that makes you seem unpredictable and attractive. Such a simple little thing, but trust me, it can have a huge impact. The rule of thumb to follow when trying to be unpredictable is simply this. Look at how you're naturally interacting with this girl, try to spot the patterns, then do something to interrupt or break that pattern. It's really as simple as that. Okay, finally moving on to the last rule. It's super important, so pay attention. Rule number 5, make the big move fast. So let's face it, you're not actually trying to get a girl to like you. That's just a part of your real motive. What you really want is to date the girl, sleep with her, or make her into your girlfriend. And that's never gonna happen unless you have one-on-one, face-to-face interactions, because that's where the real connection can be formed, in person. That means you gotta man up and make the big move. Many guys delay this part because they're afraid of rejection, and I can totally understand that. Rejection is scary, even for us girls, but there's something you need to understand too. If a girl is actively talking to you over text, bantering with you, and engaging with you really well, it usually means she likes you, and she'll most likely agree to hang out with you. At this point, it's definitely worth asking her out, and if you wait too long to make a move, all the attraction and liking that you've created are just gonna go to dust. That's why you shouldn't wait too long. Be bold and invite her to hang out with you. Trust me, a simple text like, hey, let's grab a coffee this Saturday can do the trick. It's really that easy. When a girl sees that you're bold enough to invite her out, she'll like you even more. Since all of us girls are majorly turned on by confidence. Once she agrees to go out with you, you can work on taking things to the next level, whether that's sleeping with her, making her your girlfriend, or whatever it is that you want. Like I mentioned before, face-to-face interactions are where the real connection is formed. So make it happen as soon as possible and don't hesitate. If she says no the first time you invite her, don't get worried. Keep following the rules and keep texting her like you were. Then invite her out again another time. If you follow the rules and created that sense of liking for you in her mind, it's extremely unlikely that she's gonna say no this time. On the rare occasion she does say no again, you can just stop texting her and move on to another girl. 2 chances from your end are enough, and if she wants to hang out with you in the future, she'll text you. Now, before I end this video, let me share that amazing resource that'll make you a master at having fun, playful interactions with girls. You see, I've got a 97-second video which reveals the one thing a guy needs to become a natural at having playful, engaging conversations with girls, whether that's with texting or in person. And no matter how dull or boring or serious you think you are, this one thing is guaranteed to transform you into a fun, interactive, attractive, and charming man overnight. And that's not just a bold claim. What you'll find in this video has been tried and tested by over 5,000 guys, and it just plain works. Once you have this thing by your side, talking to girls and attracting them will become a walk in the park, even if you suck at it right now. So all you gotta do is click the link on your screen now or the link in the description and check out the video. Like I mentioned before, it'll take you less than 2 minutes. And believe me, what you'll find inside the video will change your life and how you interact with girls. So please don't delay. Check it out now. I'm gonna see you next week.